Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, that's Ben Olson. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Anonymous.
Hi, Ben and Nathan. I'm having a lot of variance in my scores on the individual sections. On a given practice test, I can score from -0 to -5 on any of the three sections. I have scored perfectly on logical reasoning, reading comp, and games on different tests. However, I typically average around 10 to 7 missed questions every test. I wouldn't consider that a lot of variance.
Not
that
at all.
Sounds very narrow. People would die to have that sort of range of scoring. Any advice on how to bring my total mistakes down and how to minimize the variance in my average mistake per section? I think that if I could reduce this variance, I'll be at or near my target score. Thank you guys for all you do. I have been a longtime subscriber and listener. If it wasn't for this platform, I would be going to a shitty school at too steep a price. You guys rock. Hey, Anonymous, thanks for writing in. I think you're focusing too much on the numbers and need to focus on those questions that you're missing and the questions that you weren't sure about, even if you somehow miraculously got them right in those sections.
Yeah, our job is to bring your total mistakes down, not to bring your variance down. Variance is actually your friend. I mean, I think, Anonymous, you need to sort of change your mindset about variance because law schools only care about your highest score. So you would rather have variance in your score than not have variance in your score. Consistency is the last thing you want. If you scored 170 on the number every single time, that would be way worse than 170 plus or minus 5. You'd rather have plus or minus 5 because you can sometimes score 175 if that was the case. So variance is actually good for you. Variance is not the reason why you're not hitting your target score. The reason why you're not hitting your target score is because you're not that good at the test yet. Like, yeah, you can sometimes get a -0 on any of the sections, but that's because you're getting kind of lucky on those sections. The times that you sometimes miss 5, you might have gotten slightly unlucky. The truth is right now you're a -2.5 plus or minus 2.5 on every section.
I would argue he's probably closer to a -4. I just had this feeling that, what is it? Even when you get -5 or -0, there are still some questions you got right, but were lucky on. So
yeah, that's part of it. But I mean, he's missing 3 point something per section on average, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, so you're a -3 plus or minus 3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Point is, that's not your problem. That's the -3 that's your problem, not the variance. It's the -3. So every single question you miss, you have to thoroughly review it and figure out what the fuck's going on. Remember, Anonymous, you picked a wrong answer. That answer's wrong for a reason. Might be wrong for multiple reasons, and you picked it. That's a problem. Figure out why you're doing that. You also failed to pick the correct answer, which is a separate problem. The correct answer was sitting right there. The correct answer does, in fact, answer the question. Sometimes it's more obvious than others, but yeah, that's the one that answers the question, and the one you picked is the one that didn't answer the question, and you're making 2 mistakes for every one of those missed questions. Taking that more seriously is what's going to improve your scores. Your variance is really only going to shrink as the total number that you're missing shrinks, or the average number that you're missing shrinks, right? Because we do see people who get pretty reliably, like consistently in the 170s. They have reduced their average misses, but they haven't really reduced their variance. Sometimes they're going to score 179 and sometimes they're going to score 172. But it's not their variance that's their problem. It's, even for those students, well, on average, you're missing a few, and let's look at the few you're missing. Try to get rid of those.
Yeah. I love that you said that variance is his friend or her friend. We don't know who this is, but
yeah.
I also want to say that wrong answers are your friend. Start thinking of them as your friend. They're telling you what you suck at.
Missed questions. Yeah.
Yeah. You got it wrong. Okay, stop worrying about that. Stop worrying about variance. Start looking at those things as good things and say, okay, cool. What can I learn from this missed question? Thank you.
People come to me asking me to diagnose their problems, or they ask us, they want the demon to offer them more like analytics, like diagnose my problems.
Yeah.
Well, It's simple. Did you get it right or did you get it wrong? Because if you got it wrong, that's a problem. And we don't need to talk about anything else. We don't need to talk about the other ones that you're missing. We need to talk about that one that you missed. We don't need to talk about the average number that you missed. We don't need to talk about the types that you usually miss. We need to talk about that one that you missed. And then when we're done talking about that one, then we can talk about the next one.
Yeah. Why did you miss that one? Oh, well, I think I like read too quickly, but here's the thing. I generally get necessary. It's like,
Stop arguing against the test. The test is telling you, you don't get this one. And instead of going bigger to types or sections, but on logical I'm good at logical Yeah. Okay. But you weren't good at that one. So let's talk about that one.
Yeah.
And it's like a shortcut that is not hidden in the slightest. I mean, this is a shortcut that has like flashing lights pointing at it, traffic cones arranged to try to direct you to the shortcut, which is simply start with the first one you missed. If you're drilling and you only did one question and you missed it, well, that's your problem. Let's look at that one.
But Nathan, that's a really unique question. And I think it's kind of a one-off thing.
It's not.
It's not.
It's just not.
Yep.
Or if you're scoring 179 and it really is a unique one-off question, because, like that's what happens when we get people who are scoring consistently 178s, 179s, 180s. Like the only ones that they're really missing are the legitimately weird ones.
Yeah, but we have to push back against that too, because there are legitimately weird questions, according to us, that we have since said, oh, wait, actually, that makes total sense.
No, they all make total sense. It's just that there's like some wrinkle there that you're not anticipating. And of course, once you see it, then you see it and you can't unsee it. But even my point is just, okay, well, did you miss it or did you get it right? If you got it right, then you got it right. If you missed it, then, well, that's the one that we need to spend some time on.
Mm-hmm.
And people always want to try to like break out of I don't know what it is. It's like an unwillingness to confront your own flaws or something, right? You're not willing, your ego can't handle it that you missed that question. Instead, you need to like convince yourself that actually I'm good at this stuff. Yeah, okay. But the answer was D and you picked C, and let's get to work on that one question. That's what you need to be looking at instead of looking at statistics.
Hey, thanks for writing in, Anonymous. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.